Good morning, dudes. It is 4:52 a.m. Morning thought exercise. Part of the awakening, the death of the ego, comes shameful moments for people where they realize how horrible they were to other people. Yeah. Well, my advice, if you are having a shameful day, and that's where you look at your past behavior, and you're like, why in the fuck did I do that? And then part of your awakening is being really ashamed of yourself. And what that does is it kind of wakes up old feelings from when you were a child. And now my computer got turned off. And I'm gonna pop these picture cards while I talk. And I am channeling, so anything I say is part of your message. My dog is whining. I'm gonna put this on pause for a second, see what he's up to, and then I'll be back. Okay, he's all set with his treat, and I got my coffee, so things are going good. So if you're feeling a shameful moment, just know that everybody goes through the shameful moment. It's part of self-reflecting. There are people who are unable to self-reflect, and those are very narcissistic people. So a lot of times people can get completely stuck in their career. And they may think that career accomplishments validate them. And that's a very tricky situation, because that's when you start using and fleecing other people. So Spirit says, let's talk about the last time I saw a show at First Avenue. You ready? You want to think about it? The last time I was at First Avenue, I believe, was the last show before COVID shut down First Avenue. I considered this person a colleague. We did a merchandise collaboration together. This person negotiated a 50-50 split with me. And we decided we were going to sell the merch for $20. Therefore, I got 10 and that person got 10. I did all the work, and so the merchandise each piece required 5 strikes of a hammer. And that's if I got everyone perfect. And of course, I didn't get everyone perfect. So an order of 100 would require 500 strikes of the hammer from me to get paid $10 per item. This person was having a big show. Their assistant now. So now this person themselves negotiated the deal. But now I only deal with their assistant. So they said, we need 100 more units, we'll say. We'd like them for the show. I said, okay, show's sold out. Can I get on the guest list for the show? Yeah, like, can you bring the order to First Avenue and text? This is what the assistant said. Can you bring the order to First Avenue and then text me when you get there? I said, okay. I don't like to drive on the highways. I live in Ridgefield. So here was my experience. Yeah, well, first I said, can I get on the guest list +1? Because I don't want to come to First Avenue all by my freaking self. Yes. It will cost $60 worth of product for me +1 to be put on the guest list to deliver 100 units to them for the show that night. I needed the money for my children. So, these people have raised the price of the merchandise from $20 to $25 without telling me. And they're totally fine with just continuing to pay me $10, even though I should be getting paid $12.50 per item. And they have had no problem telling, that I had to give them $60 worth of product to get my name +1 on a sold out guest list at First Avenue. They sell guest list spots, it's true. So then I said to the assistant, well, I want to go back into the green room and tell this person, thank you for the opportunity, because my daughter is also autistic, and I use this, I didn't tell her this part, but this is what I said when I was back in the green room. Which, let's remember, I used to work at this is what these stuck-up Heathers don't realize. Like, their head is so far up their own ass that they don't realize that I used to work with the person who runs First Avenue. I also, as a teenager, knew one of their oldest bartenders that's worked there all these years. Like, I know, yet newsflash, I used to be big in the music scene. I've been in the green room at First Avenue combined more than these Heathers have been combined. So think about this. I'm doing a merge thing with a colleague. I'm bringing their order to First Avenue. I have to pay $60 for me plus of merchandise at $10 per unit when I'm supposed to be getting $12.50 per unit, but they have no problem fleecing me $2.50. Plus they get 2 free ones in every one because they're them and nothing's ever perfect. And then to get in the green room to say thank you. You want to hear what the assistant said? It's going to cost another $50 worth of product because this person's time is priceless. Okay, so my dog is still whining. I'm just going to make sure he's okay. I'll be right back. So I do it. Yeah, I've now paid $110 worth of product to get through the door to bring their merchandise order to the club. Text the assistant a whole bunch of hurry up and wait. Yeah, these chicks love playing school. Hurry up and wait. Here she is now. Here I am. I'm going to walk you now to the green room. And it was very clear, like we were playing school. Yeah, no, she was the teacher, I was the dunce, and the principal is in there. So we get to, if you know First Avenue where the green room is, we get to, there was a First Avenue employee that was sitting on a stool and kind of like making sure nobody walks into the green room. And the assistant says, "Oh, wait here. I have to get your wristbands." She makes his way right there. And it was so absurd that the First Avenue employee that I did not know that was watching this whole interaction, after she left, he said he had secondhand embarrassment for me and my friend. He said, "I'm sorry this is happening to you." To which I replied, "It's okay, you're just doing your job." Now keep in mind, I have been in that green room so many times before in my life. I'm older than these bitches. And they have no, I'm just local artist. Yeah. Merchandise made by local artist, Molly Spillane. So then, assistant comes back, no joke, 2 bracelets under her clipboard. "Now put your bracelets on. Now take 3 steps in." I walk in, the musician looked terrified. It was a sold out show. They looked very nervous and very terrified. I saw that they looked very terrified, and I said, "Let's hear it for all the money we made," and I gave that person a double high five, a high 10. So let's hear it for all the money we made off those merch necklaces, which at the time was like $12,000 each. To where that musician said, "Oh, that's all you. That was all your idea." And I said, "Well, thank you for the opportunity. My daughter has some social needs with her autism, and I used that money to buy some horse lessons for her. Is it okay if we get a couple pictures?" Yeah, we took a couple pictures. I considered this person a colleague. Clearly they considered me their minion. I was back there for 5 minutes for the lamest VIP experience ever. That they touted this as, that I paid $50 because that person's time is quote unquote priceless. And then I said, "Well, yeah, we're gonna leave now." Yeah, these Heathers didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And when I walked in there, the assistant was very, very weird. And it made me think of that. Yeah, Spirit wants us to watch narcs of a feather flock together. So in spirituality, when you hear the word narc, it's referring to a narcissist. Narcs of a feather flock together. And I'm going to put that information as this amazing man. He explains the narcissist dynamic with the head Heather and the head broski, and how they'll just fuck anyone over. And so I'm going to put that information down in the comment section. And that's what I was dealing with. So when we were going in, that assistant said, "Tell that person I'm doing a really good job." I was like, okay. We walked in the green room after I said, "Let's hear." Yeah, I said, "Your assistant here is doing a really good job." So 5 minutes later, we leave. And I say to the assistant, "Hey, assistant, keep in mind I've paid $110 worth of product to these bitches to be treated like so fucking rudely while I'm delivering their order to their fucking doorstep. Yeah, does the UPS dude have to pay $60 worth of product to deliver your order?" So as I'm leaving the green room, I say, "Hey, assistant person." I called them by their name. "It's a full house." Yeah. Now, if you've ever been to First Avenue, you know how much room is between the green room and the stage. There's quite a bit of room. And I said, now keep in mind, I paid $110 worth of product, getting ripped off $2.50 per product. So 11 pieces they got for free for me to have this experience and get treated like total horseshit, and to get ripped off $2.50 per piece. And I say, it's a pretty full house. Is there any way that we can stand kind of off to the side here while the show is going on? "No. We have jump ropers coming through here, 6 children. Yeah, we have to keep this completely clear. Completely clear. Yeah, go upstairs, Molly." "Go upstairs, Molly." "Okay. Yeah, peace out." Those bitches knew I needed that money for my kids, and they had no problem fleecing me. No problem. Yeah, that's next level horrible behavior. Just because you can fleece somebody doesn't mean you should. And then I did get another message from them. "Hi, we need more necklaces. More merch. We need them, no rush, but we need them by the end of this month." Yeah. And Spirit literally told me, do not respond to that email. Instead, respond back in the next reading you do in the Starseed transmissions. And I did. And the transmissions were, "Listen up. She don't want to John Henry your name out anymore just to get disrespected and ripped off." Are they paying attention to local artists' work? No, their head is so far up their own ass. So guess what happens a week later? "Hi, email. It's me again. Need 100 more necklaces." I said, yeah. Spirit said, don't respond back again. There's a whole nother day of explaining it in the Starseed transmissions. Listen up, you stuck up bitches. You can't fleece her any longer. The answer is no. Well, on that one, the answer was yes, because I needed the money. And so I had to do another order. And then this is what she said. There was one in between that. So I'm mixing 3 orders. So there was that first one. And there was some other orders in between. I've made a butt ton of money for this chick. And she can't look at it in the right way. Like, I'm giving her the opportunity, not the other way around. So I said, yeah. So one of the orders, after that first time when I had to pay to get through the door of First Avenue to drop off their order, they had another order. And this time the assistant says, we'll be glad to put you on the guest list for free this time to drop off the order. Oh, wonderful. I get to drive on back roads from Ridgefield on a weekend night, go downtown, pay for parking, stand in line with your order, pull up my ID at the will call and feel like so fucking cool because my name's on the guest list. To which my ex was going into downtown that night. I live with my ex. He lives in the basement and I live upstairs. And he's a BMX rider. He was going BMX riding around downtown Minneapolis that night. I said, hey, is there any way you will roll past First Avenue and bring this order to First Avenue for me? I don't really feel like dealing with these bitches. I don't really feel like standing in line. I don't really feel like, yeah. And this person's music has changed. That's not really my cup of tea no more. It's very narcissistic. This person has their face on candles like they're a saint now. Will you bring the order for me? He said, yeah. So I responded back, yeah, we put this dude's name on the guest list instead. Oh, well, we're sorry we won't be seeing you. Yeah, I'm refusing to see you. Last time I saw this chick, one last order. It went down like this. Yeah, this is the actual musician. Meet me at the ice cream shop 5 minutes from where I stay and drop off the order. So I said, okay. This was my last try with these bitches. I showed up. Sebastian Joe's might mean something. The name's Sebastian or Joe. I showed up promptly on time. I had drove my white car. I have a white car and a van. I drove my white car. Well, it's actually my son's car, but to the ice cream shop, and I showed up there first. I had the order in with me. That person showed up with an injury. Explained to me that they got injured. I said, that's a pretty big injury. Yeah, what they were telling me was not the truth. They were in fragmented liar energy. But to each their own. And I said, hey, do you have like 15 minutes where I can talk with you? And it was, yeah, a whole bunch of hurry up, I got shit to do. So I sat across this person and I said, I'm not doing jewelry anymore. And they said, oh? And I said, yeah. It became where I was a one-man sweatshop, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I explained, I used to make these cuff bracelets. And I had one way back 10 years ago when we were coming up with this idea, me and this person together. I had presented a cuff bracelet idea. And I showed this person the pictures of the necklace and the bracelet. At the time, I was going to start listing them on Etsy, and we were going to split the profit. That's what we negotiated. And at night, I sent this two pictures, and I said, here's the things. Just want to get your approval before I list them in the Etsy shop. Yeah, texted back, looks great, whatever, it's great. I can't even remember if it was a text or email. So I ended up listing them in my Etsy shop. And sent the links to those two items so they could see them. The next morning, I heard from her, and she was scolding me. She used to go by two names, and she dropped the N part of her name, and now she just goes by one name. And I had referred to her by the two names. And she said, I don't use that part of my name anymore. Don't refer to me as that. Oh, okay. And please make sure, yeah, I got a little. And please make sure you check with me and I approve these before you go ahead and list them. I'm like, were you drinking last night? Like literally scroll up like 2 inches where you said, yeah. So I responded back, oh, you don't like the bracelet? That's fine. Yeah, no worries. Sorry. I'm not that brazen. Clearly this was a lack of communication. Something like that, a mix-up. We'll just do the necklace. That's great. Perfect. But she had to just flex on me a little bit. So fast forward now 10 years, I'm sitting across from her at the ice cream shop, delivering her 100 necklaces that I've drove in on back roads from Ridgefield so she doesn't have to go 5 minutes out of her way. And I say, yeah, remember those bracelets? I sold 15,000 of them. Not her style, different styles. To which her jaw dropped open, and you could tell she said, oh fuck, I made the wrong decision about the bracelets. And then it was bank teller, closing the thing, in energy. I said, I'm doing a new thing. And this person, yeah, does collaborations with some dudes, and this is all they rap about. And I said, I'm doing a thing about helping people through spiritual awakening. See, here's the thing. The most dangerous person is an uneducated. Is an unenlightened, highly educated person who's smart. Because their whole fucking ego has run the show, but they have not surrendered. And I said, does your collective, are they interested at all, you being a representative, of co-creating with the high priestess? I talk about theology, concepts of the dark night of the soul. I help people heal through childhood trauma. And I'm psychic. As soon as I said I'm psychic, she had no problem rolling her eyes at me in a full Still like, I think what was happening, she was still processing that she made the wrong business decision about those fucking bracelets and was tantruming. And she said, no. I said, I'm psychic. And she rolled her eyes directly across from me. Now imagine this as an autistic person who doesn't like confrontation. My dignity stood up. And I said very nicely, I said, the person's name. Name. You don't have to believe me, but I believe me. And that person's response, well, Molly, that's all that matters. Now, this person makes a mighty good living off the concept of Minnesota nice. And kind of a darling of the Twin Cities. And if the Twin Cities knew how covert this person was, they would not be the Twin Cities darling. I said, okay, well, can you give me any advice? Like, do you on social media? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just very short answers. No help, no advice. I said, okay, well, one of the person in her collective, on her label, has a video where there's artistic overlay has been done over the video. And I said, I have this kind of vision for my videos where I work in collaboration with different artists. And like, for example, like in your collective dudes video, and I said the specific person in the video. Do you know who that person worked with on that? No, I can't remember. Like, even if, yeah, it was like, I said, I see, yeah, even if you can't remember, huh? I didn't say that. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in this person when they fully unzipped in front of me. And I saw how narcissistic this person was. It was horrid. And then, clearly, they had a whole bunch of errands to do. So we were leaving. And she was like limping out on her injury. All in this fragmented, hungover energy. And I said, hey, you. I called this person by their name. I know you're a busy woman, but if you need a friend, you can contact me while you're on tour. To which, oh, okay. Awkward hug. And then, well, my car is right here. And this is where spirit worked with me. Because in that moment, I truly believed that I had drove my van, but I didn't drive my van. I had drove my van and I had parked it 2 blocks away. And I said to her, yeah, I'm parked 2 blocks away over there. So here's what happens in Minnesota. Yeah, the concept of Minnesota nice. Here's what people do in Minnesota. Now, this chick knows me. It's not like I'm a complete stranger. I knew her before she even went by her fake name. I know her real name. Yeah, this is how it goes when you still have your Minnesota nice. Oh, jump in my car. I'll take 10 seconds out of my life and drive you so you don't have to walk 2 blocks in the hot summer heat. Did that happen? Of course not. Of course not. No, she just got in her car and said, okay. Not even a thank you for delivering my order to right to my doorstep. Nothing. And I watched her get in her car, pull up, gonna take a right and zoom off, and yeah, her roller skate. Car kind of looks like a roller skate. And I was just standing on the corner of the street, just like in shock over how this all happened. She never looked back in her rear view mirror, nothing, no, just hung a right and took off. And as soon as she took off, all of a sudden I was like, I like popped out of it. And I was standing at the corner of the street getting ready to cross the street to walk those 2 blocks. And I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't drive my van. I drove my white car, and it was right behind her car. But I was there first, and then she parked in front of me when she arrived. And I'm like, that is so fucked up. That is so weird that just happened. Yeah, no, she was getting tested, and she failed big time. All these people who like fleece the concept of Minnesota nice were presented Minnesota nice, and they fucking failed. And not only did they fail, that's a sacred concept, Minnesota nice. Not only did they fail, yeah, they fleeced the fuck out of it. Now she got a new jeweler she works with. I haven't been to any shows at First Avenue since. I haven't. That whole interaction at the ice cream shop, yeah, narcissist abuse, want to get ice cream. That whole interaction at the ice cream shop made it so I haven't sat in front of anybody since then and said, do you want to co-create? I was treated so rudely and so disrespectfully by someone who fleeces the concept of Minnesota nice. Yeah, a bunch of stuck-up bullies are about to get busted. And it never crossed their mind. Yeah. It's like Sonder was never activated in these chicks. And what does Sonder mean? S-O-N-D-E-R. It's a profound feeling. It's so profound that there's a word for it, Sonder, where you realize, yeah, I'm not just a background person to that person's life. I'm not just one of their little minions, background person to Superstar's life. No. Everybody around us are their own unique people having intense life experiences themselves. Yeah, these chicks haven't had Sonder. No. And there's a lot of trading alcohol. I'll fleece ya. Yeah, you do all this for me and I'll trade you a shot of whiskey. Spirit don't like that. Spirit don't like that. So the lesson is, just because you can fleece someone doesn't mean you should. And if you're fleecing someone, yeah, because you say, well, I need to make money because I need to send my kids to a private school, private Catholic school. I went to a private Catholic school called N.Node St. Margaret's. I did, yeah. When I was there, my history teacher got busted for fondling the boys. Yeah, that school has a pedophile problem every 5 to 10 years. Do you know that public schools are regulated and private schools are not? So, for example, my children my son did and my daughter does go to Richfield High School. Yeah, are they getting a subpar education? No. They have a really good program for like AP stuff. So why do I choose to send my kids to public school? Because there's regulations. Those teachers have to have a teaching license. They have to have a background check. Like my old private school, the Catholic school, any private school, because it's a private school entity, their teachers don't have to be licensed. They don't have to have background checks. And what that school does is, way back when I even went there, that school's known for hockey. Yeah, so this is usually how it goes. I spent so much fucking money on my kid's hockey career, sending them to professional hockey stuff. Yeah, no, they're moving in from Shattuck over in Canada. Yeah, no, they're going to come in on their junior year, because senior year is when all the scouts come to this private school and check out the hockey people. So all these hockey players kind of swoop in their junior year. So their senior year, they can get picked up by a hockey scout. Yeah, well, guess what happens? This is when I went there. What happens if they don't get picked up by a hockey scout? Now, their parents have invested maybe even up to $100,000 in this kid's hockey career so far. And no scout picked them up their senior year. Well, they just fail them. Yeah, it's called a super senior. They let them do their senior year over again, no matter what their grades are. Yeah, right now, that school, the tuition is just over $17,000 a year. So these rich people say, yeah, I'll throw down another $17,000, give my kid another chance. Yeah, kid, you're doing your senior year again. Just take it as, yeah, one step in your hockey career. Super seniors. School has consistently had a pedophile problem every 5 to 10 years. And people are still fleecing other people so they can afford to send their kid to this fucking pedophile school. All in the name of Jesus Christ. It's true. So, yeah, it was my history teacher. What happened was he was the baseball coach. So what they do is they try to find, like, athletic coaches. And they say, you can be the athletic coach. Yeah, but you have to teach a class. You can teach world history. But we'll really have you here because we want you to, like, be the coach of our baseball team. That's how my history teacher was. And what happened was, one of the main popular dudes on the baseball team came forward and said, I can't be quiet about this anymore. Coach comes and corners me in the shower and touches my butt. I don't like how it makes me feel. I told him I couldn't afford the tuition, and he said, yeah, he was part of this, like, Dean's List group. Yeah. He said, well, we can work something out, like with a video camera. And this kid was so embarrassed and ashamed, but he was a popular kid, and he came forward and said, this is what's going on. And after he did it, a bunch of other kids came forward and said, this teacher is doing it to me too. I specifically remember watching the news. It was Channel 11, I believe. Way back when. I'm talking like 91-ish, whenever it was. Not going up to my history teacher's house, knocking on the door, investigative reporter. No comment! I'm like, oh my God. All of the students, oh my God. None of us students were talked to. There was no assembly explaining what's going on. No, there was a very short, what I remember, a very short letter sent home. And yeah, we all were like gossiping. Oh my God, history teacher. We all show up at work. Yeah, new history teacher. Who is this? Who the hell is this? This is a young dude. Yeah, they replaced the pervert with a young dude and allowed him to put a whole Pink Floyd The Wall poster up on the wall. One of those big, huge ones. So we were all like, traumatized, whisper, oh my God, walk into the new class. Who the hell is this? Oh my God, Pink Floyd The Wall? Yeah, okay, we're on board with this new teacher. Yeah, we're just gonna go with this new one. And then it was sweep everything under the rug and students go to your new history teacher. I ended up transferring out of that school shortly after that. It wasn't worth the money. Since then, so in the 80s, this is a Catholic school. In the 80s, and now I'm not saying anything that isn't known, that school is called Benilde St. Margaret's. I'm typing in Benilde St. Margaret's sex scandal? No, maybe pedophile? We're going to do pedophile. Pedophilia. Okay. So, way back in the day, in the 80s, a priest got busted for molesting kids. So what is the Catholic, I hear the diocese, what did the Catholic higher-uppers do? They said, naughty priests, don't do that anymore. We're moving you out of this community, and now we're sending you to the Twin Cities. Yeah, you now work at a school called Benilde St. Margaret's. They sent that perv to Benilde. Then in the 90s, yeah, can guarantee they had a pedo problem because I saw it firsthand with my history teacher. Since then, let's see, September 13th, 2018, Benilde St. Margaret's tennis coach fired, charged with felony sex crimes. Kevin Rust, 59, of Minnetonka, was arrested earlier this summer during an undercover internet child enticement investigation. Benilde St. Margaret's fired its elite boys tennis coach Wednesday after school administrators learned he was charged with multiple felony sex crimes in Wisconsin. Yeah. So if that dude applied to be a tennis coach at any public school, they would have been forced to do a background check on this dude, and he would not have gotten the job because he's a fucking pervert. But they say, yeah, no, you're going to coach our elite tennis team. That's just one of them. Let's see. Here's from the Star Tribune. Priest accused of sex abuse was allowed. I've already looked at this article more than once, and I don't subscribe to the Star Tribune, so it won't let me look at it. That's that message from the 80s. There was another teacher that was recently fired for inappropriate communications with students. They have a pedophile problem. Yeah, and tuition is just over $17,000 now. So if people are ripping other people off so they can have money to send their kids to pedo school, think of the irony of how it all went. Yeah, I went to that fucking school. So there's the update. Like, why are people sending their kids, especially if you know that this school has a serious pedophile problem? Can you imagine if Richfield Public School kept getting busted every 5 to 10 years that their teachers are inappropriate with the students? What would happen if that was a public school? But it's also hush-hush. But it isn't really hush-hush. There's literal news articles about it. All in the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a full-blown fucking business. All in the name of Jesus Christ. So I have a letter jacket from that school. I earned the letter jacket, lettered in Dan sign. I went to a party, and then I transferred the second half of my junior year from Benilde St. Margaret's to Osseo Senior High Public School. I did second half of 11th grade and 12th grade at public school, Osseo Senior High. And I have my letter jacket from Benilde, and I have my class ring from Osseo. And I went to a party, a little party pit. Yeah, when I went to Benilde, I lived in a town called Golden Valley. So I went to a party and lost my letter jacket. The only thing I lost that night. And all these years I wondered, I wonder where my letter jacket is. And, I don't know, about not quite 10 years ago, I got a message out of the blue. I think it was on Facebook, from a dude who said, a long, long time ago, I threw a party at my dad's. Something like that. And after the party, I found a letter jacket. And it's been hanging in the closet all these years. And I had a feeling that this dude may have gone through AA or something, and he was in the phase of righting your wrongs or something like that. And he said, I did some investigating, and I figured out, I think this might be your letter jacket. Do you want your jacket back? It's been hanging in my closet all these years. And I said, yeah, I do want my jacket back. And he met me. I had some guy friends with me, so I wasn't alone with a stranger. And he passed my jacket from his car. My friend said, stay in the car. I'm gonna go and get it. This guy friend I had. Another guy was driving. And I got my letter jacket back. To which I immediately brought it to a dry cleaners and got it cleaned. And then when it got cleaned, they fucked up on it, and all the dye ran on it. And the dry cleaner place said, we're going to replace the cuffs of your letter jacket. We're going to replace everything. We're going to do this all over again. And they gave me a deal. Yeah, I only had to pay $30. And side note, yeah, my class ring ended up getting stolen from me. So a whole bunch of people are going to have towers today because the truth came out. And a whole bunch of people are going to learn a lesson. And the lesson is you should have been nicer. And just because you can fleece somebody, take advantage of them, doesn't mean you should.